Welcome back to class, everybody. I'm running low on battery, and it's the start of Season 4, so we're just going to get right fucking into it. In Season 1, we talked about weapon categories, their strengths, their weaknesses, when to use them, when not to use them. In Season 2, we did multi-enemy combat, less than lethals. We talked a bit about armor. In Season 3, we did basics of combat with each of the weapons, kind of different techniques, how to wield them. In Season 4, we're going to take everything we learned, and we're going to put it to the test in the dungeons. Live fire drills using the loadouts of some of history's greatest warriors. Alright, we did a bit of this on our field trips. We went to places like the marketplace and to the canyon, and we kind of fought around there. But those weren't the same as an actual dungeon that you can slog through. That was just fighting people in a designated arena. You knew what you were getting into, you knew how you were going to get into it. With the dungeons, it's procedurally generated. There is a set number of rooms, but they could be in any order. There's always a big wave you have to defeat, so you get to see how you fare against multiple opponents using your loadout. So today's episode is about the Hoplite from Greece. Now, as you guys know, while I load up, I'm going to talk a bit about him. The Hoplite was named after the Hoplon, his shield. We need the Xiphus, which is their sidearm, and their main sword. Now, there it is, the Hoplon, for which the Greek hoplite was named. The same way the Peltist was named after the Pelta, and the Thoreus was named after the Thoreus, which were all their shields. Next, I need my ever-reliable Dory. Now, I've done this video before. I'm going to be straight real with you. I did this video before. Here's a clip. Really? I hit the metal in his chest piece? There we go. Thank you, Jake. So yeah, there's a bit of a bug with the Dory where it gets stuck and glitches through the ground. And I'm gonna need to be careful of that while I'm fighting. If I'm crouched and I draw the Dory, it can get glitched into the ground. And when it does that, that kind of led to me dying because I couldn't get my Dory out of the fucking dirt. Come on, Dory. Don't do this to me right now. So, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Now, I've got the three main weapons that a hoplite would use. Their sword, their shield, their spear. Now, typically, they would carry a bag of javelins as well. Oh, wow, I can put that on my head, but that is absolutely atrocious. They would carry some javelins as well to kind of throw, but the heavier hoplites I don't think did. I think that was mostly the light hoplites and the Thoreus. So what I'm going to pack is either the Falcata or the Makara, because I need something to definitely help me with that thicker armor that some of my opponents are going to be wearing when the Xiphus, or when the Dory cannot, you know, be useful. So I'm going to go with the Makara, just because I gotta stop jumping. Mostly because I have a weapon just like this that I actually own called a barong. I'm gonna put them side by side, so the barong's gonna go right here. Thank you, Jake. Actually, I'll do it like this. So let's do it again, Jake. Thank you, Jake. So yeah, you can see that like that even the handle is the same, and I find that fascinating. So we're going to go here. We're going to go short length, just a quick romp through a 2-star dungeon, meaning that we're going to have enemies in leather, enemies in chain, and enemies in the gladiatorial, like, Celta-Iberian kind of garb. And we're going to have to kind of deal with all three enemies, which is great because the actual Greek enemies you'd be fighting would have, like, the bronze cuirass, which is similar to the chainmail, not quite the same, but definitely similar. We're gonna have to find a way around some of that plate and chain. I don't doubt that the Dory could punch through it, but I'm gonna need a backup plan in case my Dory doesn't work. Alright, now it keeps telling me my battery is low, so we're just gonna see what happens. My controller just died. My controller literally just shut down on me. Oh no. Alright everybody, got some brand new Go juice in my controllers. I actually ran through this whole dungeon and then realized I'd left the cursor and everything else on the screen. So I'm actually going to check that real quick before we get going. A screen, beautiful. Alright, let's do this. There we go. There's two of them. Gladiator armor, chainmail. Are you gonna move or are you just gonna stand there? You know what? I'll bum rush this one and then I'll fight the other one. They didn't even get alerted. So I know for a fact this can punch through chain, but struggles on the plate part. So. Can't even see him down there. Let's do this. Dungeon 2, Electric Boogaloo. And for those of you wondering, I'm going to very heavily favor my spear in open areas, just because that's how the Greeks actually fought. They were very spear shield centric. Oh jeez. Oh, this is bad. Ow, she got me good with that hit. Was that chain I just punched through? I think it was. Oh yeah, it's struggling on the... But it can go through the sides of the chainmail. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember that. The center chainmail, not doing a damnedest. Alright, let's test its throat. Gonna test its throat slitting capabilities. Really? Take a dead body. Yeah, that's... These weapons are useless against that center mass chainmail. Oh, I should probably lay down some ground rules, real quick. 1, I will not abuse my telekinesis. 2, I will not be using any magic except for a single use of a healing spell. This one. Alright, that wasn't me using it. I gotta either crush it or punch it into my chest. And 3, I will only use the weapons somewhat as historically intended. So, like, the pilum is not going to replace a spear for the Romans. Mostly because it's so long, it can actually go through and through a person. Charge, charge, charge. So, like, I'm not going to, like, pick up her Nadzic in the middle of a fight, you know? I'm going to use the weapons I was given.
You shouldn't be here.
Hi. Whoa. Whoop. Broke my dory. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. There we go. I'm a little hurt, but it's not that bad. Oh, this is where I died last time. the first time I did one of these recordings. My dory glitched into the ground. What? I tried to do a big jump and I didn't pull it off. Oh, Jesus, 2 people. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep my shield on that side of me. Ow, my legs! You bitch! I don't know if she's dead or not. I think she is. She ain't getting up. I think this is the first big fight, so I'm gonna pop this heal. And as you can see, it doesn't even take me back to full. Oh shit! Whoa, what am I hitting? People, I'm hitting people. Oh, he's getting ready to use magic. I should really take you out first. I'm in a bad way being out here in the open. Oh no! There we go, that'll unstuck it. There's a person behind me. Whoa. I really need to find a corner I can hole up in. Magic behind me. Oh, it glanced off of his plate. There we go. Through the head. They're starting to really surround me now. I need a more close quarters weapon here. Ah, damn it. I don't know where I am on the battlefield, but I am taking damage. Back to a wall. Got my dory up. It's these armored enemies that are the trouble. Oh, thank you. Filthy church. How did I do? All right, I'm a little hurt, but I'm not any worse for wear than I probably would have normally been. I mean, without the heal, I'd probably be bordering on dead. So, or dead. So, I'm glad I used it. I think I just walked to the exit. I only think they ever put in one big fight. So. Watch, I'll be wrong. I'll round this corner and there'll be like 17 of them. Nope. It's the little pillars I gotta go down. Oh! Oh, that nearly killed me. Man, I am a stub toe away from death, and it's because of a physics bug. Oh, you know what? I'm shutting that shit off. Full damage. Disabled. Spiked bone weapons deal less damage to plate, but more damage to leather. mean, I guess that's true. The spikes would struggle a bit to get through the plate. They'd bend or dent, while flanges wouldn't. Anywho, so we're back. I'm gonna go with the same score I gave the Hoplite in my first iteration of this. On offense, they get a B, because their really only counter to armored enemies is the Dory. Without this, I was left to aim around my armored enemies' sides and whatnot. Led to me taking a good bit of damage. I had to go for throats and faces and shoulders and shit. They really are useless against that center mass chain. So they get a B. They go right through leather, right through unarmored, or lightly armored. But with that being my only weapon that can really take on chainmail foes, they get a B. Now that being said, most hoplites wielded their spear religiously, so that really wasn't an issue for the majority of that dungeon. Towards the end there, when I was really outnumbered, I gave up the spear because it was getting tangled on people. They were too close to use it effectively, and I knew I was going to take some damage the moment I switched to my sword, because when people are that close, it's easier to get hit. But it's also easier to do the hitting. Between their two weapons that they have as sidearms, this one and this one, they're both great for stabbing because that tip is kind of center-lined. But this one has that back edge that you can use, so you can hit and then get a cheeky around the opponent's shield or guard, try to smack him in the back of the head. You can't do that with this one. You gotta follow through on your strikes. That being said, this one has way more chopping power than this guy does. Able to do some more devastating hits. Sadly, it can't slit throats. I'd have to grab them and try and punch it into the side of their neck. This one can. I slit that guy's face or something, and he didn't seem to give a fucking care. So, in terms of defense, I got some pretty bad hits there towards the end, because my Hoplon doesn't cover my whole body unless I really hold it across me. I'll show here. This is where I normally hold a shield, right out in front of me. And as you can see, because of the curvature, a good chunk of my body is still vulnerable. Unless I hold the shield out way over here, which then it gets in the way of my swings, holding it here, I can still fight around it. But my body's very open. A lot of the shield is wasted. And that is because it's meant to cover you and the guy next to you. The Hoplite was all about fighting in formation. Now, how did they fare as a solo fighter against multiple people? The shield covering my side like this, all right, you see if I kind of turn my body, covering my side like that saved my life several times in that big gang fight. Because holding it at my side like this, it covers my entire side. Even the parts I'm not actively looking at. Holding it here kind of in front of me still covers a good chunk of my body because it's indented. You know, it billows out so I can tuck my body into it to cover a good bit of my body. In fact, I'm glitching through it a little. But yeah, it covers a good bit of my body. So I can't give him like a C for having a useless shield, but I can't give him an A because it's not as easy to use in solo combat. But the fact that it does cover my blind spots really well, I can kind of turtle it up here on my side and know that it's going to cover my whole body, and then easily tuck it out in front of me when I need it, and still offer me some of that side protection. I'm going to give it another B. So all in all, Hoplite, you get a B. Class dismissed.